Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. It's Friday, February 23rd, and like we talked about in class yesterday, we are definitely going to need to finish today's notes. We started those in class on Thursday yesterday, but like we didn't get a chance to finish them. Now, first period ended in a different spot than fifth period. So if you're watching this video and you're in first period, we're going to go through that second example, but you guys can just fast forward a little bit to the third example. So here we go. Right now we're looking at sine squared of theta over secant squared of theta minus 1. So if we think about this secant squared of theta minus 1 is one of our Pythagorean identities. So remember, we have three Pythagorean identities: sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. We learned in class yesterday that the other two Pythagorean identities come from this main bigger one. If we divide everything by sine, both sides, our next Pythagorean identity is tangent squared. 1. Sine squared divided by sine squared is 1. So 1 plus cotangent squared equals cosecant squared. And then our next one would be 1 plus tangent squared equals secant squared. So if we take a look, this idea of the Pythagorean identity secant squared of theta minus 1 comes from the Pythagorean identity, that third one, 1 plus tangent squared equals secant, right? So if we subtract 1 from both sides, we get that tangent squared of theta equals secant squared of theta minus 1. Okay, so right now what that means is that secant squared of theta minus 1 is tangent squared. So we're looking at sine squared all over tangent squared, which we can simplify to sine squared of theta times 1 over tangent squared, which this right here is just cotangent. So this can turn into sine squared of theta times cotangent squared. Cotangent squared of theta, which then, if we keep working through this, sine squared of theta times cosine squared of theta all over sine squared. And then hopefully we see that sine squared of theta and sine squared of theta, they cancel out, and we are left with cosine squared of theta. Okay, so like I said, for those of us that were in first period, this first video might not be needed. Those of us that are in fifth period, please let me know, send me an email, chat on Google Classroom, write yourself a note that if there are questions on this example problem, for us to go through this on Monday. Okay, good luck. Go ahead and try the next one. Go ahead and watch the video to figure out how you feel about it. Or just you can start by watching the video and follow along as well. All right, see you soon.